The following breaking news has been brought to the light of day today. In this interview with a banker, the banker is questioned about a home foreclosure case. The banker was placed on the witness stand and sworn in. The plaintiff's or borrower's attorney asked the banker the routine questions concerning the banker's education and background. Here is what transpired. What is Court Exhibit A?
This is a promissory note.
Is there an agreement between Mr. Smith, borrower, and the defendant?
Yes.
Do you believe the agreement includes a lender and a borrower?
Yes, I am the lender and Mr. Smith is the borrower.
What do you believe the agreement is?
We have the borrower sign the note and we give the borrower a check.
Does this agreement show the words borrower, lender, loan, interest, credit, or money within the agreement?
Sure it does.
According to your knowledge, who is to loan what to whom according to the written agreement?
The lender loaned the borrower a $50,000 check. The borrower got the money and the house and has not repaid the money.
Your Honor, let the record show that the banker never said that the bank received the promissory note as a loan from the borrower to the bank. Do you believe an ordinary person can use ordinary terms and understand this written agreement?
Yes.
Do you believe you or your company legally own the promissory note and have the right to enforce payment from the borrower?
Absolutely, we own it and legally have the right to collect the money.
Does the $50,000 note have actual cash value of $50,000? Actual cash value means the promissory note can be sold for $50,000 cash in the ordinary course of business.
Yes.
According to your understanding of the alleged agreement, how much actual cash value must the bank loan to the borrower in order for the bank to legally fulfill the agreement and legally own the promissory note?
$50,000.
According to your belief, if the borrower signs the promissory note and the bank refuses to loan the borrower $50,000 actual cash value, would the bank or borrower own the promissory note?
The borrower would own it if the bank did not loan the money. The bank gave the borrower a check and that is how the borrower financed the purchase of the house.
Do you believe that the borrower agreed to provide the bank with $50,000 of actual cash value which was used to fund the $50,000 bank loan check back to the same borrower, and then agreed to pay the bank back $50,000 plus interest?
No. If the borrower provided the $50,000 to fund the check, there was no money loaned by the bank, so the bank could not charge interest on money it never loaned.
If this happened, in your opinion, would the bank legally own the promissory note and be able to force Mr. Smith to pay the bank interest and principal payments?
I am not a lawyer, so I cannot answer legal questions.
Is it bank policy that when a borrower receives a $50,000 bank loan, the bank receives $50,000 actual cash value from the borrower, that this gives value to a $50,000 bank loan check, and this check is returned to the borrower as a bank loan which the borrower must repay?
I do not know the bookkeeping entries.
I am asking you if this is the policy.
I do not recall.
Do you believe the agreement between Mr. Smith and the bank is that Mr. Smith provides the bank with actual cash value of $50,000 which is used to fund a $50,000 bank loan check back to himself which he is then required to repay plus interest back to the same bank?
I am not a lawyer.
Did you not say earlier that an ordinary person can use ordinary terms and understand this written agreement?
Yes.
Is there anything in this agreement showing the borrower had knowledge or showing where the borrower gave the bank authorization or permission for the bank to receive $50,000 actual cash value from him and to use this to fund a $50,000 bank loan check which obligates him to give the bank back $50,000 plus interest?
No.
If the borrower provided the bank with actual cash value of $50,000 which the bank used to fund the $50,000 check and return the check back to the alleged borrower as a bank loan check, in your opinion, did the bank loan $50,000 to the borrower?
No.
If a bank customer provides actual cash value of $50,000 to the bank and the bank returns $50,000 actual cash value back to the same customer, is this a swap or exchange of $50,000 for $50,000?
Yes.
Did the agreement call for an exchange of $50,000 swap for $50,000, or did it call for a $50,000 loan?
A $50,000 loan.
Is the bank to follow the Federal Reserve Bank policies and procedures when banks grant loans?
Yes.
What are the standard bank bookkeeping entries for granting loans according to the Federal Reserve Bank policies and procedures?
The promissory note is recorded as a bank asset and a new matching deposit liability is created. Then we issue a check from the new deposit back to the borrower.
Is this not a swap or exchange of $50,000 for $50,000?
This is a standard way to do it.
Answer the question. Is it a swap or exchange of $50,000 actual cash value for $50,000 actual cash value? If the note funded the check, must they not both have equal value?
I plead the Fifth Amendment.